Working hard.
They might be getting confused on the back. You know, where they, that second set of numbers, but they don't start at the origin.
Okay.
They start at that number.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there's a couple of them.
Thank you. I'll pay more attention to that. Okay. So when we're completing the function table, we've been doing this for a while, right? But I don't think we did it last week, like at all. I saw a couple of people in their ordered pairs write 0 for all of the x values, but we were given our x values, so that's where you plug those in, okay? Every time you see an x is where you plug in that x value. So for the first one, I'm going to do the first one for us, and then I'll get some help from you guys. Y equals, you're going to bring that equation down, and instead of x, I'm going to plug in 0. Minus 5. 3 times 0 is 0. 0 minus 5 is negative 5. So then my ordered pair is 0, negative 5. All right. Elijah, can you help me with this one? And what's 3 times 1? 3 minus 5? Negative 2. So I'm going to put that negative 2 in the y column. And what's my ordered pair look like? 1, negative 2. Nice job. Thank you. All right. Sean, can you help me with this one? Walk me through it, though. 3, times 2.
Times 2 is 5.
And what's 3 times 2?
6.
6 minus 5?
1.
So what's my ordered pair look like?
2. I'm sorry, I cannot focus. 1.
What? What did you say before that?
I can't focus. Y'all don't hear that?
You can't focus? Well, you got through it. All right, that was perfect. Okay, Tamara, you want to help me with this last one?
Y equals 3. Sorry. 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Negative 5.
And what's 3 times 3?
9. And subtract 5. 4.
It's 4. What's my ordered pair look like?
3, 4.
Yeah, perfect. See? So I know you didn't do it last week, so you probably forgot a couple of the things, but it's the same thing we've been doing for a while. Again, you plug in the x value that's given to where x is in the equation, and that's going to give you a different y value each time. Okay. Does everyone have that down? We went through that kind of quickly. Okay, let's turn over to the back.
No, we don't have to. We don't have to.
Oh, you're right. Thank you, John. Okay, so you were supposed to plot all of those pairs. So the first one, again, I'll do for you. Our first pair was 0, negative 5. Jonathan, what's the next one?
1, negative 2.
So I'm going to put that right there. Kaylin, what's the next one? The third one? Right there. 2, 1? Okay, so I'm going to put that right there. And Jalen, what's the fourth one? You should have it right there.
Next one is 1, negative 2.
The last one?
Oh, the last one is 3, positive 4.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we've got our plotted points, and that's based on the ordered pairs that we found from completing that function table. Jalen, make sure you fill in that bottom one, okay? I want you to get full credit. So then I'm going to draw the line all the way through these points. That was terrible. Oh, it's not better. How about right there? Third time's a charm. Almost. Okay, it's good enough. So draw your line through all 4 points. Draw your arrows. And now, what does M equal? What does M stand for? Slope.
3-1.
That's right. So 3 over 1. So I'm going to start at any lattice point you choose, which is a plotted point. And Jonathan went up 3 and right 1. So our slope is 3 over 1. If it helps you remember, because it sounds like you guys are forgetting, and your quiz grades kind of made it sound like you forgot a little bit. So you went up 3 and over 1. So our slope, remember, rise over run, is 3 over 1. And what's my y-intercept? Does anyone remember that from last week when we were figuring out x and y-intercepts? Do you remember what the word intercept means? Like in football, an interception?
Catch and fear.
It's like an interference.
I know. I have it in my head. I know exactly. I don't just want to say it.
So the analogy I used, if I'm throwing a ball, doesn't matter if it's football, baseball, whatever, and an interception or an interference occurs, that's when someone comes and blocks my throw to the door. Or I'm throwing to Tamara, and Kaylin reaches up and catches the ball out of the air. That's an interception, right? Even if he knocks it down, doesn't even have to catch it. So an intercept is when, pretend the ball is up here, I'm throwing it, and oh, the y-axis intercepted or interfered that throw. Okay? So the y-intercept is where the graphed line crosses the y-axis. So my y-intercept is -5.
Because there's several. Yeah, they're different. How wide doesn't work.
Okay. All right, this, we're going to be working with things that look exactly like this for the notes today. We do have notes today. We're not done with the opener yet, but just keep this format in mind, okay? Because that's what the notes are going to be like. But we know from last week, we know how to find the slope, right? We know how to find the y-intercept from like 2 weeks ago. And that's the only 2 skills we're going to have to remember for today's lesson and tomorrow's lesson. Tomorrow's?
Well, that's if we got
Just
school
kidding.
tomorrow.
Right.
Tomorrow wasn't
Okay.
There might be schools.
Okay, now go ahead and turn her over to the back.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a little different from what we're used to. So it says up here, for each point and slope, plot the given point, then count the slope to get a new point. Draw the line through the 2 points. So this ordered pair right here represents the first point that we have to plot. This is the y-intercept, because it's where the line crosses the y-axis. So go ahead and plot that point, 0, -2. And the worksheet gave us the slope. So if this is rise over run, I'm going to rise 4 and run 3. Not from the origin, which I know is what you're used to when you're trying to plot points, but we're going to plot it based on this, because we're going up 4 and over 3. So that's going to look like up 4 and over 3. Does that make sense? Okay, and then go ahead and connect the dots by drawing that line. Yep, still got to draw that line. And that's it for that one. What's up, John?
What about you have a negative?
We're going to get to that in just a second, I think. Yeah, we are. Okay, here's a negative. All right, so first I'm going to plot this point, -2, 4, which goes right here. So for this, you do have to start at the origin. You go left 2, and you go up 4. Now, our slope is -5 over 1. So just like what we were doing with slope last week and yesterday on the quiz, you start with that point, that lattice point. You go down 5 because it's a negative, and you go right 1. Does that make sense? Because negative is down, right? It's either down or left, depending on which axis we're based off of. Let's see that real quick.
Or-
Can I see your first one real quick? Two up, 4, 3. Okay, thank you. Okay, next one. We're going to plot this point. Make sure you're paying attention because I'm going to call on someone to do the last one for me, okay? So 1, 3, I'm going to plot that point, start at the origin, go right 1, and then up 3. And now I'm going to go down 2 from there for the slope because our rise is -2. And I'm going to go right 3. Then I'm going to draw my line.
So is this a negative 2
What?
It has like the negative.
Oh my gosh, this is difficult. Use your straight edge.
He did.
Okay, good. Oh my gosh. Okay, I pressed undo without meaning to. But there's a redo button, thank goodness. Okay, what was your question?
It has a negative line. Is anything really different about that? Is it still negative 2, 3?
This, because the negative sign is in line with this line. So that's because this was written on a computer. And the negative sign is put in the middle like that. But when you write it, the negative sign should be beside the 2. Okay. That is a little confusing when it's printed like that. Just know that you're supposed to, because you always have to have the negative on the top. Okay. Good question, though. Okay, last one for the opener. Okay, where do I put the first point?
To the right. Oh, wait.
So with the origin and go right 3.
Up 3.
Thank you, John.
Almost.
Right 3.
Up 3.
Oh, yeah, up 3, sorry.
Because 3 is in the y value. And then what? What do I do now? Before you start, I'm going to help you out. I know you're not used to seeing slope look like this. So I'm going to write over 1 for you. So now you know the rise and the run. Okay? So from this point, I'm going to go down 4 and write 1. Okay? Because my slope is -4 over 1. And I did it on my first try. Okay. Alright, now once you've gotten everything written in there, go ahead and pass your openers forward and down to Sean, please.